What's up, scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and as you can tell from the get-go of this video, things are a bit different today. We are on our way to something exciting in the city, or in Sydney, and we've got the kids in the back.
Hi!
About to drop them off at daycare for the day. But come along and I'll tell you what we're up to. You want to see? There you go. Look! You're on the video. Alrighty, we are back and we are now childless. We've done the daycare drop-off, which went very smoothly today. Thank goodness. Children always have a radar when you're in a rush for something. They just have a radar for when it's time. Whoa, look how foggy it is. Sorry, distracted. Look at all the fogginess. It doesn't look as foggy on screen. It kind of just looks like a road. But usually you can see really far.
Yeah, wait until we go up.
And you can't. It's just fog. Oh, there we go. Fog action. Okay, so I'm sure you didn't come here for the fog action. I'm not really a fog channel. But back on track with what this video is actually about. Today we're doing something different. We are on our way to Sydney, which is about just under 2 hours away from us. Hopefully it's not more than 2 hours with the peak hour traffic. And I am going to my first influencer day, which I'm a bit nervous about, but Cricut invited me down to do a self-care project day, and it's hosted by Geneva Vanderziel. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. I'll put her YouTube channel in the comments down in the description down below. But I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. But I am going to try and vlog as much as I can and take you along with me, and then perhaps afterwards we might go for a bit of a trip to the city, and we might be able to go to our favourite bookshop. If you're a long-time watcher of Mr and Mrs Rad, our old vlogging channel, you'll know our favourite bookshop, how do you say it? Kinokuniya?
I think it's
Kinokuniya? Whoa, the fog is getting even more. Fog update. Look at all that fog. Alright, back to what's mattering. If you're new to my channel, hi. I'm Adele and I do tangents quite a lot. I have the mind of a squirrel. But yeah, we're hoping to go to our favourite bookshop in the city and perhaps peruse their stationery department. And it's very difficult to get out of there without buying something, so we'll see how we go. But this is a bit of a different style video. Let me know if you enjoy a bit of a crafty vlog, and I can definitely do more of them in the future. One last fog update. It is still very foggy.
Onto Lang Street, then turn left onto York Street.
Okay, we got here with half an hour to spare. There's a little touch and go there for a moment because they had closed the Sydney Harbour Tunnel, which is what we usually go in, so we had to go on top of the bridge and the traffic was bananas. But it's raining currently and I'm just waiting outside to go in because I'm early. When you have to travel, you have to allow a bit of extra travelling time and worrying time to sit in the car. I'm excited. But yeah, so I'll see what I can film. I don't know if I'll be talking. I might do a voiceover over the top of it. But I think from the looks of the photo, we're making some little self-care product packaging for some things, I think. But yeah, I can't wait. Alrighty, here we go, peeps. As soon as I walked in, there was this beautiful paper cut display, as well as all of these different things that they had created with a bit of a self-care focus in mind, using the Cricut machine, using the Maker, the Joy, the Mug Press, all of the machines, and just so many great ideas that I would never have thought of, like these glasses that had the plants inside of them. I thought was brilliant, and I'm always a sucker for a shadow box as well as gold glitter. I mean, That's just very me. So I was one of the first ones to arrive because of the travelling. I wanted to make sure that I got there in time. And up the front they had all of these Cricut supplies on display so that you could have a look at what's available. And then we had a presentation by Geneva in a little while. But the first thing that I started doing was the mug press, because they do take a little while to do just with the cooling down process. And so we used the infusible ink sheets that had already been cut, which saved a lot of time for us. And we just weeded out, which means you just pick out all of the bits of the design that you don't need. And then I wrapped it around my muggy mug, popped it in the machine, and then I just waited, nervously waited. And then it was time to take it out. It was easy as just flipping up that lever, popping it on my cooling mat. And then I left it to cool probably for about half an hour. It ended up being, while we had this fantastic demonstration by Geneva, and she made these wood-cut earring holders. You can cut wood on this Cricut machine. It blew my mind. So that's something that I'm definitely going to try in the future. Now it's time to peel off that infusible ink sheet, and you can see the design. It's not stuck on there like a sticker. It's fused into the mug. I was slightly overly happy there. I just didn't think it was going to work because it was my first time doing it, but it was so easy to do. You couldn't really mess it up, so that was fun. Now it was time to make some bath tea, and so I stuck on my pre-cut label and then used just a range of salts and little dried flowers and some essential oils popped in there. Here I am, pretending the camera's not on me, spooning my salts in, and then time to add the flowers. And I've put these aside for a special person who likes some bath soaking in my life. Ooh, smells nice. And then I've popped those in there, and now it's on to the next project, which was a candle. And they had pre-cut all of these little abstract designs in a bunch of different bright colours using the Cricut Maker. And so you could pick whatever ones you liked and overlap them and kind of make your own design, which I thought was really fun. I went for I call this whimsical coral. I feel like that's the vibe that I was going for. It's a very Adele-ish colour scheme with a bit of pink, blue, turquoise. All it was missing was a splash of gold. But I popped that down there. And then this next project was a bit difficult to photograph, as you can see by my awkward wave there. But that's a mirror that I'll show you when I do my haul at the end. And then it was my first time using transfer tape, and it was surprisingly easy to apply the tape to the vinyl and then peel it off. It was a bit difficult to film at the same time as trying to use the little spatula tool to smooth it all out. But I love that we were able to personalise this gift box to pop all of our things in, and I'll then use that as a storage, a little caddy for all of my vinyl rolls. So now we got to use the mini press and the mini heat press, and it was so fun. It's like a tiny iron, and there's just something so sweet about miniature things. It was really easy to use, and I think this is one that I'm definitely going to add to my stash of machines and tools, because it's so small that you could just whip it out onto your tabletop and you don't have to have, a place set up for it permanently. You can just grab it when you need it. We made these little eye masks using some iron-on, and I love the way that this one turned out as well. I'm a bit of a sucker for navy and lilac. They were my wedding colours, so I have a soft spot in my heart for these. Now this journal, I had an accident with it, which I'll talk about in the haul at the end here, but we solved the problem. User error, completely user error. I just got distracted talking, and I left the heat press on there for too long. So note to self, don't talk while doing things like this because you might get distracted. Mistakes equal learning is probably the more appropriate phrase that I should have used on this little journal cover, but alas, I have now learned from my mistakes. So here's a little look at the whole box of goodies that I left with, and I was just so excited to go to this Cricut event. I've always been nervous to use cutting machines just because of my history of breaking everything to do with technology, but it's so simple to use that you can't really mess up unless you talk too long and forget that you're using an iron heat press type thing on top of a surface and you overheat it. But apart from that, you cannot mess this up. The instructions are really simple when you go into the design space, easy to follow, and I definitely will be broadening my collection of Cricut machines in the rest of this year. I'm definitely going to get the little easy press, and I definitely want that little mug press. It's very, very tempting. All right, back to chatting, and then I'll hop back on to talk around Sydney. Okay, so it's all over. I'll do a proper debrief later because we're on our way to lunch now, but I had so much fun. Met some new peeps, which was lovely, and listened to Geneva talk, and she was just incredible. Her Cricut knowledge was just mind-blowing. And then made a whole box full of goodies, which you would have seen, but I'll go through and I'll talk over them a bit more when we get home. But for now, we are driving through the busy streets of the city. There's just traffic everywhere, and I think, oh, what's Aaron doing? Oh, he's going around. So I think we're going to go grab some lunch and go for a bit of a peruse in the shops. So I'll do another bit of a montage of some Sydney spots to go to. Alrighty, so where I come from is quite a very suburbia beachside town. We don't have many exciting things like this. So we went down to the city with our bestie and we went to this gorgeous, gorgeous restaurant called The Grounds, and we had to wait for a booking. So we headed there first, made our booking, and then went to this shop, which I've been to before, called Monster Threads. And this shop is just... oh, it's delicious. It has so many colourful things. It has interesting toys. I'm always a sucker for a toy that is a little bit different, or I don't know, it just has gorgeous illustrations. There's stationery, there's, you know, like drink bottles and mugs and t-shirts and all sorts of gifty things. Now I saw this and I was very tempted to get it for Archie, because if you know any 5-year-old boys in your life, you might know that this is a lot of their topics of conversation, and I thought that he'd enjoy that bingo game, but I didn't get that this time. Maybe next time. So I tried very hard, and I did restrain myself because I knew that we were soon going to my favourite bookshop in the entire world, and I had to save my money that I had saved up for this shopping trip. And these were beautiful. If Violet was a baby, I would have bought her these strawberry little booties in a heartbeat. It's a brand I'd never heard of before, but they were just so, so cute and bright and colourful. What else do we have in here? Oh, they have a lot of like vases and planters and things. I was so tempted to touch these little mushrooms because it said don't touch, but I didn't. I was a good girl. I restrained myself. I love the vases that have the little people's heads on them. I have a couple of them at home. And then a lot of Australiana presents as well. So if you're touristing Sydney, there's a lot of keepsakes that you could find. We did end up buying this brolly for Violet, which I'll show you in the haul video at the end of this. This is a long and chatty video. I just realised how long this video is going to be. So it's get comfy, peeps. Oh, these were stunning. So they had all of these wooden little musical boxes, and just the thought that goes into all of the designs. My favourites were this little castle one. There was a triceratops that was bouncing around, and then the coral one there, number 6 in the centre. I didn't leave with one. I was very tempted though. We had a quick stop in the Van shop. Violet would have gone nuts if she had seen either of these shoes. Luckily she didn't, because they cost an arm and a leg, and her feet grow too quickly to afford shoes at that price. So we went upstairs for a little bit and then we came back down and finally had a space at the Grounds. Is it the Grounds restaurant? The Grounds, or is it just called the Grounds? Anyway, it's decked out so beautifully. It feels like you're in like an old school train station bar or something. It has this really old-fashioned vibe to it, and the bar was beautiful. The stained glass window that was in it was just stunning. Back to the menu, and we're trying to figure out what to have. Aaron and our bestie were trying to figure out if they wanted to do a cocktail, and back to the bar. I just couldn't get enough of the bar. I wish those two people weren't there so I could have had a better shot, because the pink of the lighting behind it just, really brought out the beautiful colours. So we were very lucky that we got a booth seat, which I think were a little bit prettier than the other seats. Just felt a bit more fancy. And the peeps got some cocktails, and we ordered a very Adele meal. Now, if you know me, you'll know that I love pasta potato, and that's what we had. We had the smashed potatoes, we had parmesan fries, and then the most delicious asparagus and broad bean, and I think it was like a burnt thyme pasta sauce. Oh, I keep thinking about that pasta. It was so good. We just shared it between the three of us. Then on to Muji, where I did buy quite a few things, which you'll see later on in this video. I just really respect and appreciate just their cleanliness. Everything is layered on the shelves so invitingly, and everything's, white and crisp and clean, and it just makes you want to pick everything. I feel like a kid at a candy store, or a lolly shop as we call them, and I just want a little bit of everything. I did restrain myself and only got one little bag of goodies. And then it was on to the highlight of our shopping adventure. So we went on to, I think it's called Kinokuniya. I don't know really how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, but it's an incredible bookshop. I saw these books, which I've never seen before, which if you have a tween or maybe a 8, 9, 10-year-old, I thought these books would be a fantastic idea. They're just, they kind of remind me of a Wreck This journal style. So if you're after something to keep your kiddos or your grandkids busy, I definitely think those are good ones to find. And then I just perused. I just confined myself spending hours in this bookshop in sections that I don't even know or really need. Children's novels and is not an area that I typically go to, but then I saw the Babysitters Club, and it sent me back all the memories. I recently cleared out some stuff at my parents' house, and I found my Babysitters Club stash, which maybe one day the kids, or Violet, I think would be right up her alley. She's a nurturing carer, that little one, and I think she'll appreciate the storylines in the Babysitters Club. Now on to the dangerous part, the stationery. So this is where things, if I had more time, things could have been very dangerous. I would have definitely sampled a lot more pens. I think last time we came here, I did do a video on it. I think I got a heap of fountain pens, but these brush pens I did have my eye on, but I, as you can see, I didn't really have the hand space to test out too many of them, which could have been a pro and a con all at the same time. I found some quills. I would have loved a quill. I thought that was very appropriate. And then these little glasses cases were very sweet. They had like book spines printed on them, which I thought would be a nifty gift for the reader in your life. And then we had a kerfuffle, big kerfuffle, and you'll see here Aaron goes to put in the ticket, which it didn't print the barcode on it to show that we paid. So he puts it in and it promptly goes bleh, and it spits it right out. And so we had to pull into the reserved airlines parking, and we were on hold for like half an hour, hoping that we could escape the car park. It was a stressful situation, and in the end, we ended up being too late to pick up the kids from daycare. So luckily, my parents live only a few minutes away from the daycare, So they were able to pick them up, but it was a bit of a stressful drive home. We got stuck in a lot of traffic, but here is, you've got to have the shot. Whenever we drive through the harbour bridge and through the city, it's a bit of a stressful drive. I don't ever do it. Aaron always drives in the city because he's a better driver than me. But you've got to get the photography of going under the bridge. Here it is, here it comes. And then we'll go into a little haul of all of the goodies that I made and that I accidentally purchased on purpose. Let's go. Whew, okay. We're now home. That was a bit of an adventure coming home. We got stuck in quite a bit of traffic on the freeway, and then my worst fear, the ticket machine in the underground car park that we were in wouldn't accept the ticket that we paid for. So we had to wait on hold to the parking place in the city. So we took about 3 hours to get home. That's okay. I had such a fantastic day out, as you saw from the montage of bits. I think I may have talked over it if future Adele is doing what I'm hoping she does. And so we had lots of adventures. So right now, the children are being put to bed now, so I'm going to go help out with that. And tomorrow, which will be in about 5 seconds time, I'll show you what we got. Alrighty peeps, it's time for the haul video. So I'll show you the goodies that I made at the Cricut day, and then the other stationery and book things that I got while we were strolling around the city. So first off, we got this box to put it all in, which was quite handy. And then I used transfer tape for the first time. I've never used it before, and popped my name on there, which I thought was pretty nice. And then, oh, now how am I going to do this without clonking my tripod? Okay, we'll have to go sideways. And so it says, let's make Mum's heart smile, which I thought was nice, because my heart definitely smiled. Oh my gosh, I can smell it. Oh, it smells nice. Okay, so the first thing that I made was probably my favorite. So this is a mug that I used the mug press machine for, and I used the infusible ink, which was definitely the first time that I've ever used that before. And it was surprisingly easy. I thought it was going to be difficult because, you know, you see like a machine that is unfamiliar and you're like, ooh. But it was really easy. You just use the infusible ink sheets. The designs were already cut, but you would just cut it on your machine and then pick out, weed out all of the bits that you didn't want to be coloured, plomp it on, and then they said to use tape to tape the top. They use special heat proof tape as well, and just to make sure that the design gets to the top, pop it in, and then the biggest important thing was to let it cool for a little while. So here's a bit of a close-up of the mug, and I am going to keep this one for myself. I'm going to gift a couple of the bits and bobs for the mums in my life for Mother's Day, but I'm definitely keeping this one for myself. So that was the first one. And then after that, I think I went to the bath tea station where they had these lovely little craft stickers already cut out, and we just plonked them on there, and then we made these sweet little, oh, this smells so good, these sweet little bath tea sachets that were made up of salts and dried flowers and essential oils. So this would be a really fun little gift for the lady that likes to leisure in your life for Mother's Day. Just make sure they have a bath before you give it to them. But I really like this. It was just a really easy project to put together. And then next up, I think I went to the, oh, I think I did this first actually. So this was just a basic candle, and they had a whole range of vinyl abstract shapes that we could pick from to layer over the top. It was all different colours, and just make this funky abstract design. So this I'm also keeping because it smells, oh, it smells so good. This is pear and jasmine candle, and yeah, it was just a really easy one to do. This would be great as a gift if you had to make a lot of gifts for some reason. So if you had children who were in multiple classes at school and you needed to make, you know, several teacher gifts, this would be a really easy one to do. You could even personalize it with their name, maybe. That would be really nice. But yeah, that one's staying with me. Now this one I learned some things. I learned things with all of them, but this one I made a mistake. And so I used the heat press mini, the mini heat press, sorry, and I kept it on there too long. So there was a fantastic website that you could go to that tells you the exact amount of time. It's part of the Cricut website, and it tells you the amount of time that you need to press the things for according to what material you're using. And mine said 25 seconds, and I may have been too busy talking and not counted 25 seconds. So I definitely suggest having a stopwatch. But this was my first time layering vinyl, which was really fun, and just a nice little journal-y journal. I love a good journal. But we managed to fix it when we put the second layer, the blue, over the top. The heat press fixed all my problems. But I did think it was ironic that one of the decals that I could have chosen was about mistakes, and I should have picked that one because I definitely made mistakes when I first made that. But you know, easily fixable. You wouldn't even know that this entire section did not stick down the first time because it stuck down the second time. Thank you, Cricut. Next up was this beautiful mirror, and oh, hello, you can see my camera. Whoa, and my chin. Oh, that's not a great angle. You can see the cable ties and tape keeping you up there. This was probably the hardest one to photograph during the whole thing, and so I couldn't really show how I did it, but I used the transfer tape, and they had pre-cut a lot of these phrases for us, and we just got to pick them and put them on here. And I think this would be a stunning gift to make for yourself if you like gifts like me, or for someone in your life that just needs a little bit of a positive affirmation to pop next to their bed or on a dressing table somewhere. But this was probably next to the mug. These were my two favourites, I think. I'm going to turn that upside down so that you don't keep looking at my roof. And then finally, this was the funnest one to make. So this is just a silk eye mask, and we used iron-on, and this was my first time using iron-on as well. If you're new to this video, I am new to the Cricut world, and we are learning together through any mistakes that might get made, and we're just exploring things together and having a bit of fun. But I used the heat press mini again, and I paid attention to how long I needed to use it for. That was clever. And made this sweet little eye mask. So that's going to one of the important mums in my life. And that was it. So I had a ball. It was 2 hours long, and I met some beautiful people. I'll put their little Instagram handles in the comments down below. But yeah, I had a really great time, and a massive thank you for Cricut to invite me to my first little fancy day like that I've ever been to. But I had a ball, and it's made me have a bit more confidence now with using my Cricut machine. And I need to find a spot, I think, in my craft room to just have it set up permanently, because I think now that I have a bit more confidence in watching people use it in real life, I will reach for it a lot, because it's just so handy to make titles and stickers and all sorts of things. So that was my Cricut adventures, and now let's have a look at what I bought at the shops. Okay, so the first shop that we went into, this is not crafty related at all, but I just wanted to show you. This was from Monster Threads, which is this darling little, I guess you'd call it like a kids shop, but it doesn't just sell things for kids. I would say it sells toys, puzzles, stationery, adults t-shirts, journals, drink bottles. It's a gift shop. Yeah, it's a gift shop. And Archie got an umbrella from a friend for his birthday and he's obsessed with it. He's never had an umbrella. Who knew that one of his favourite birthday presents would be an umbrella? And poor Violet, she waits very patiently for a turn of Archie's umbrella, but they're few and far between. He doesn't often like to share it. And so I found this little umbrella. It's going to be a bit hard to see, but it's just got really sweet little characters on it. I should just show you the picture. That would probably be easier, wouldn't it? Hang on, let me balance and focus that. There we go. And it's like a dome umbrella, so I thought because she's only 2, you know, her strategy of keeping the rain off her needs a bit of practice probably. She's never used an umbrella before, but I thought this would be the perfect little brolly for her, and it is Little Big Room, and it was only $20, so I bought that for her, and I would really love to use this as inspiration for an art journal page too. I think that would be fun. Next up, next up I went to Muji, and you've got to remember, peeps, I don't live in the city. I live a couple of hours away from the city, so I don't get to go to these, you know, really cool shops very often. I have, you know, just my typical department stores up where I am, and so I straight away I found these. Hang on, let me move that out of my light. There we go. I found these, which are called a picture book notebook, and this was $6 for the large one, and I also got a couple of small ones as well, and it's just a hardcover blank book, and I thought this would be perfect for Mother's Day. So I haven't made them all yet, but I thought I'd show you. This is a little one that I've started making for my mother-in-law, and I just asked the kids, you know, reasons why they like, why they love her, and Archie went through and drew some pictures, so did Violet, and then how cute's that one? Look at these little hands. And we've just got to finish it tonight. There's the night sky, and then his lime cake, because Archie is a fan of lime and all things green, and if you've been a long time inklet, you'll know I don't do the green, and I just have to show this one with her beautiful eyelashes, and I'm sure that's a picture she's going to treasure forever. So that's what I plan to use. Some of these are for gifts in the future. So I got 2 of those, and then 2 of the small, and then ooh, what else did I get? Oh, I got these. So these are called word cards, and I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with them, but they're essentially like teeny tiny little books, and I thought they could be a fun mini art journal project, and they were ridiculously cheap. I think they're only like $1.50 or something like that, so grabbed those. Now I do find it very hard to control myself in their stationery section because, oh, there's the small version. So that was $4 Australian. Their stationery section is just, oh, it's delightful, and everything is lit up nicely, and yeah, just, it's too nice, it's too inviting. I grabbed a couple of loose leaf paper sheets to use for layering. So this was a 2mm grid. Don't know how much it was, but it wouldn't have been expensive. And then this is a planted tree paper, wire bound, bleed proof, loose leaf, A5, 5mm, 100 sheets. So there you go. But I just thought that would be good for layering behind some bits and bobs. And then I found something, peeps, and it was amazing. So my name's Adele, and I buy too many notebooks. No, I don't. I'm pretty good. I don't buy too many. I do have a bit of a stash, but I love notebooks, and I'm a sucker for paper. And the paper in this notebook, I cannot describe to you how deliciously smooth it is. So this is the pocket note, and it's the smaller size, but it's nice and thick. So I think Aaron bought this one actually. I should probably give it to him before I steal it. But then I think because I've been tarnished by looking in more expensive stores for notebooks that I never buy. These are only $3. $3 for, I wish you could see, I wish you could feel this, for the smoothest paper I've ever felt in my life. It's delightful. It gives me Tomoe River paper vibes. It's not. And I don't know what bleed through or ghosting is like. But yeah, it was amazing for only $3. So my plan is that these are going to be for my Inkie shop that's opening later in the year, and these will be my brainstorming, keeping all of the information books. So that's what those are for. And then what else did I get? I just got some blank little books here. These are always just handy to have. I do a lot of list making in books. Oh, I love these. So these I actually bought for junk journals. So this is the A5 monthly notebook, and it's just an entire thing of monthly spreads, and I like to take these apart and use them in junk journals. And I think these might only be $1.50 as well. They'd be no more than $2.50. So they're handy to have. And then finally, the same as those books, but just bigger. These are often handy as well to chuck in the car if we're going to a restaurant with the kids. You know, gives them something to draw in. And then I also got this, which I've bought before, which if you've seen my previous craft room tours, you've probably seen it before. This is the file box, which is 10 by 32 by 24 centimeters. So it fits 12 by 12 paper pads, and that's what I use it for. And it was $10.95. So I bought that because I have added, I only had one before, and I've added several new paper pads to my stash which are not fitting. I know that's a sign that maybe I shouldn't buy any more paper pads, but it's the easiest way for me to get paper here in Oz. So that was from Muji. And then, whoa, then we went to Kinokuniya. I hope that's how you pronounce it. That's how it's written. And if you are in Sydney at any point and you like books and stationery, set yourself a couple of hours to go here, because this shop has more books in it than I've ever seen before in my entire life. It blows my mind. So there's a stationery section towards the end of the shop, and then I also got a couple of books as well, which I'll show you. Picked up some more Uniball Signo Broads. These are $5 each. So hopefully I will be able to go through the other ones that are on my desk and throw out those that should be already in the bin. I'm actually going to keep these separate. Hang on, I'll put these over here, because knowing my luck, I will get them mixed up and then no one will be thrown out. I really wanted the gold in the broad, but they were all out. So I got just the Uniball Signo in gold, and that was $2.50. Seems to be a troop of motorbikes going past my window right now, if you can hear that. Now, of course, you know, I'm a memory keeper, and we don't do fun things very often, and so I nabbed every free papery thing that I possibly could, and this was a little Midori take free book, and so I will definitely be using that some way in my art journaling probably. These were new to me, and these are by the Midori brand. It's an A5 dot grid. It was $4.95, and I really liked that it had turquoise pages. It's not something that I've seen before, and it's got a really, I don't even know if you can see, it's got a really fine dot grid to it, and so I thought that would be fun to have a play with. I don't don't exactly know if I want to take it apart and use the papers for junk journals, or if I want to use the journal as is. Yeah, we'll see. And then I also got it in pink, of course. This I just thought was sweet, and it was only $1. It's just an envelope. It's a Travelers Company envelope. What am I going to do with it? I will probably pop it in my Project Life album, and it will just be a little fancy bit. I might put some of the, you know, papery things that I got in it, but I just thought for $1 that was really fun. Okay, peeps. Now, if you're a long time inklet, you will know that maps are my love, and just, there's something about maps, okay? It's my thing. You know how we all have like an interest that just makes us feel all of the warm fuzzies in our heart? Maps are it for me. And yes, it's a little bit lame, it's a little bit strange, but don't knock it till you see the maps in here. You'll probably think, oh my god, Adele, you're so weird. This was an expense, so this was $59.49, so it was a pricey one, but it's literally the only place I can find map books. And I have a couple in my stash, and it just goes through. I'll show you my favorite one. Where is it? Boop, 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 boop. I found this new person now on, here we go. Look at these little maps. Like, to me, this is just so much inspiration for art journal pages, just in the way that the lines are used. There's another one, this one. I get so excited about them. But this person is called Chris Kenny, and I found his Insta after flicking through here, and it just blew my mind. So yeah, I added a map book to my stash, which I'm very excited about flipping through all of that. I just also realised you can probably still see my Gym Jam shorts because I'm filming in my jammies today. Shh, you don't usually know that my work uniform is often jammies. So next up, I got a couple more journals from the stationery section, and this one is, what brand is it? LC? No, Ludite Co. That's what LC is. It was $4.50, and it is a spreadsheet one. And just like, oh, hang on, are we out of focus here? There we go. Just like maps make me happy, books with lines make me happy. Maybe I have a thing for lined stuff, but I don't like lined notebooks. I only like fancy lines like this. But I thought for this one, I am actually going to use it for the Inkie shop, to note down the different collections and what embellishments I'm making to keep track of. This is the same company, and it is a weekly planner, separate type, and I thought this was just a handy one to have, and I might use it for journal pages, I might use it as is, but just I liked the amount of boxes and things. And usually I'm a vertical planner girl, but I don't know, there was something about this one. Could have also been the pink. And just the text, the journal has a bit of a texture to it, which is quite nice. This was a bit of a gamble, and it was a bit of a gamble because I couldn't touch it in the shop. That sounds bad. I couldn't feel the paper for the don't open it like this either. I couldn't feel the paper for its smoothness, but I thought maybe it might be similar to the paper of this little booklet. So this was $16, and it's by Midori again, and oh, that's stuck on there. It is a A5 blank paper pad cotton, designed for comfortable drawing. Is it a pad or is it a book? How do you get into it? Do you... Oh, you use it like a pad book? I don't... No, it's a pad. It's definitely a pad. Oh, it's sealed on both sides. Okay, we're learning together here, peeps. So you could use it for either way. So if you were drawing, you could either rip your paper and have it flap that way, or you can rip it and have it flap that way. Interesting. The paper does feel nice. I'm going to be honest, it's not as nice as the Muji paper for me. But yeah, well, there you go. Alright, next up in the book section I found this book, and I just thought this was really interesting. It's something that I, been dabbling in and looking at. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's just a bit of fun. I've had a few stressful months this year, and it's been something that isn't crafty that I've been enjoying. So it just has a whole bunch of different spreads and things. So if you're into tarot, this one was $30. And then finally, this is not related at all. This is just a book that I bought. So this is from the same bookshop, and it's called Hook, Line and Sinker, and I'd heard good stuff about it. So this was $23. And then, the final things were just, what's that from? Oh, I bought Dad a book as well. That was that sticker. I bought him a book by his favourite author about the Opera House. And then they had a few freebies as well. Like I said, I do love a free papery freebie, and this one kind of looked like a map. So, of course, that got my heart happy. And then I accidentally, maybe on purpose, got two of these, which just had a whole bunch of journaly bits. So this for free. So that's a little look at my adventures in Sydney. Aaron and I go to this bookshop probably, I'd say, well, maybe once every 18 months, if that. But if you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know, and I might go on some more crafty vlog style adventures out and about. But I had an absolute ball, and we went with our bestie, which was also very fun, and I want to do it again, but it takes up a whole day, and I might have to save my money again. I purposely save, I put money away for when we go down there, because I know that it's impossible to walk out without a few notebooks and books. Alright peeps, I hope you've enjoyed this video, something a bit different, and if you are celebrating Mother's Day today, happy Mother's Day to you all. I hope you have a very relaxing day, and that you have some nice peace and quiet. That's what we want as mums, don't we? Just a little minute of silence and peace and quiet. I know I like that. But I hope you have a lovely weekend, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye!